So our first speaker is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most sought-after women in the beauty industry right now. I mean, she's on fire. I mean, after realizing the makeup giants weren't experimenting with new and exciting color palettes, Florence Adepoju decided to establish her own brand. So she did the thing that most of us say, you know, we think about something and talk about it, but she actually did it. And she established MDMFlow. The brand is inspired by 90s hip-hop culture, bright color palettes, suitable for all skin tones. So that's one thing we've got to remind even the big brands of today. We exist too, but we're still inclusive. So even when we start our own brands, we include others in our brands. In 2016, Harvey Nichols started to stock MDMFlow, and Florence has established herself as the country's leading cosmetic scientist. So when am I calling you doctor? Hey, cosmetic scientist, that's amazing. With the New York Times, the London Evening Standard, ITV London News featuring her and celebrating her talents in business. One of Florence's most proudest career moments has been teaming up with EDF Energy in 2015 on the Pretty Curious campaign to address the lack of women in science and to promote STEM careers to young girls around the world. So I love that. So it's not just about the business and the enterprise and making the money, it's about the legacy she's going to leave behind. It's about the mentoring that she's actually conducting while she's growing her business. So please, I'd like you to welcome her warmly, show her love as a sister. Welcome Florence to the stage. Thank you.
Hey everyone. Thank you for having me, Black Ballad. Before I start, I'd like to just say something quickly about Toby, one of the founders of Black Ballad. We've been friends for almost 10 years. She's one of the most inspiring women I know. She's taught me almost everything I know about Black history. And I remember when Black Ballad was just literally an idea, and then it was a Tumblr blog, and now it's this event today. So I'm so, so proud of you, Toby. Congratulations. Toby asked me to come on stage today and talk about some of my Black British icons before I talk about myself, my brand, and my journey. As Runke said, my brand is heavily influenced by 90s hip-hop, but alongside 90s hip-hop, it's also influenced by just music in general, and incredible Black men and Black women who have done creative things in music and have essentially changed the world, the way the world works, and changed the way that products are marketed at us. My Black British female icons growing up: Marsha from Floetry, Miss Dynamite, Jamelia, Beverly Knight, Shiesty, the original Sugar Babes, Mutia and Keisha, Keisha White, Mel B. These are incredible women who I saw when I was growing up in my teenage years, and I was like, yeah, these are Black British women, they're absolutely killing it, and they're showing me that, you know, I can live out my dream. And even now, I'm 25, for those of you who are wondering, there are key Black British women in music and in culture who inspire me incredibly. Julie Adenuga, Jamie's sister, Ray Black, Siobhan Bell, who's an awesome DJ, Lady Leisha, and all these incredible women doing things and establishing a space for themselves in Black British music and entertainment. And it's an incredible thing because, like, when you go out to the States, and like I've been to New York a few times, and people still don't believe that there are Black British women existing in the UK. So like, kudos to those women. So back to me and my story. I started my brand in July 2013 after I graduated from studying cosmetic science at the London College of Fashion. When me and Toby were friends in college, I definitely thought I was going to be a doctor because my parents told me that I was going to be a doctor because I was good at science, you know, African parents. Can you all hear me? All right, brilliant. Yeah, so went through college thinking I was going to be a doctor, did medical fast track for the first year. It was not for me. So I was like, okay, that's not happening. What's the next best thing? Let me be a pharmacist. Did 2 weeks work experience at Tesco Pharmacy, realized, yep, that's not for me either. Okay, what can I actually do that I'm actually going to be, you know, passionate about and enjoy and want to go into work and do every single day? Around the time I was in college, I got a job on a makeup counter at Benefit Cosmetics, and I completely fell in love with the beauty industry. And as basically every woman in this room knows, as a black woman, it's love and pain with the beauty industry, because you love it and you love how you can use it to represent yourself. But at the same time, when you go into retailers in the UK, you walk in and there's just so many products in there that are just not for you. So working in the industry, I thought, okay, I'm going to make my mark in the beauty industry, and I'm going to go into the most scientific role that's available and hopefully establish a product line that is suitable for dark skin tones, and is a product that and a line that I can be proud of, and all my, sisters, cousins, mum, whoever can wear confidently and not have any issues with. So in 2009, when I wrote my application to university, in my personal statement, I said, I'm currently working at Benefit Cosmetics. On a daily basis at my workplace, I hear Black and Asian women complain about the products Benefit sell not being suitable to their skin tone, and their woes of finding makeup brands of their choice. I believe that shopping for skincare can be likened to finding the perfect little black dress. Nothing is right until you find the perfect fit. Being a woman of color myself, my dream is to create or aid in the development of a cosmetics product that caters specifically to ethnic skin, whilst being of good quality and having a range of colors to help women of all colors, oh God, I've lost where I am, to help women of all colors find their perfect match and fill the niche in the cosmetic market. So that was the dream that I had in 2009. And as much as the industry has progressed, I'm sure that there is a lot of women who still have that dream today, and I'm pretty sure every single black girl who applied for my degree had pretty much the same dream. Went through the 4 years of university and had various highs and lows in thinking that I'd be able to come out and establish myself and create my own brand. I worked for various makeup counters, worked for Chanel, worked for Shiseido, worked for Laura Mercier, and some brands that had some of a range, but still I felt that even if they had colors that were available in their branding and in their marketing, they weren't saying to black women, like, this product is for you. So I got to the end of my degree and I was like, okay, well, I've been a broke student for 4 years, so I can be a broke student for 4 more years, and let me just do what I can to start up my business. I took out a loan from my university, £10,000, did the application, got approved, and then went back to my uni and was like, can I use your facilities to start my brand? And they basically told me no. So because they declined giving me access to their facilities, I basically went on the internet, found the equipment we were using in class, and basically built a lab in my shed. And 3 years ago, in July 2013, launched my brand MDMFlow and started hand making lipsticks. I always constantly in the industry get comments from buyers, from press, from journalists saying, like, is this really a problem? Like, do black women actually have a problem when it comes to beauty? And like a lot of women in the room, at a certain point, I was like, this is really frustrating. Like, how can you tell me that my reality is not my reality, or how can you question it? And then I started to realize that there's a real ignorance when it comes to the beauty industry about the issues that black women face when it comes to beauty and when it comes to what's available. And I started to see things from the other side. Like, if you've always been able to buy makeup and if you've always had multiple options, you're never ever thinking about the other. And so for me, it made me realize that in order for the industry to change, there just needs to be more visible black voices. And as soon as I had that realization, I sacked my PR, took my press in-house, and I started meeting with journalists one-on-one and literally telling every single journalist I met, this is the problem that the industry has, this is the problem that black women have. And I'm not saying like I'm the reason for the change that we're starting to see in the industry, but as more and more women of color come up in the industry and take leading positions, and I know it's really hard when your mum and dad want you to be a doctor, a lawyer, and everything else, but as we have more of a voice, and even if you want to do something very academic, using your voice on social. I used to work for L'Oreal's social media team. Every time a black woman complains about walking into a store and not seeing a product, they see it and they flag it up, and it's sent to their marketing team, and slowly it starts to filter. So one of the key things that I wanted to mention today is that even if you're not in the industry, if it's an issue that you're facing and you feel that you want to see more brands that are available and catered towards you, definitely like shout about it. Shout about it online, write letters, like do what you need to do to basically be represented. Okay, so I've only got a couple more minutes. So something else that I was asked to talk about is highs and lows of running a business as a black woman. I definitely think that when I started my journey, the biggest issue I had was just seeing other visible female black entrepreneurs. And I think there's just something about, you know, seeing someone who looks like you doing exactly what you want to do that makes you feel that you can do it. But as the fact that even though there are women in the industry, a lot of them don't get the kudos that they should get, and they're not put on the platforms that they should be on. So like whatever it is that you want to do and whatever dream that you have, you need to essentially seek out women of color in those fields and speak to them about their journeys and kind of develop one-on-one relationships. One of my biggest role models is Sharmadean Reed, the founder of Wild Nails. So obsessed with her business and how she created something that's just really authentic to her. And it took at least a year, but I finally got that email address, got that meeting, got that contact, and now she's like one of my closest mentors. So something else that I want to stress is there are role models out there, visible or not, so it's important that we kind of, you know, do the extra work to find, and not only just find them to mentor us personally, but to shout about the amazing work that they do and put them on a platform. When it comes to running my business day to day, it's a really difficult thing to think about what issues I face personally as a black woman in terms of the opportunities that are available to me, because I think one of the key things about opportunity, being an entrepreneur, is looking at problems as opportunities and not really, stressing on, are they refusing to buy my product because I'm a black woman, but really thinking, let me continually have this conversation until they understand the importance of what I'm doing. So we're stocked in Harvey Nichols, we're stocked in Colette in Paris. In August, we launched in 17 stores in Australia, which is the biggest launch I've had to date. We're going into a few more British retailers before the end of the year, and next year, we're also in Nasty Girl in LA, and then next year we're doing a massive push in the American market. One of the biggest retailers that we're launching in the UK in January, the first time I interacted with them, they said to me, your product is too niche. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, if something is niche, it means that it's, you know, fulfilling a gap in the market. So what you're telling me is my product is really great, right? So why do you not want to buy it? Continue to build a relationship with them, and a year later they came back and were like, this is exactly what we need on our shelves, we definitely want you in our stores. And one thing I see as being a black female entrepreneur, having to face so many difficulties day to day, it's very easy to internalize things and think, okay, this is not working out, so it's never going to work out. But for me, persistence has been key, and keep banging on the doors, keep being visible, and being very outspoken about the problems, because we spend a lot of money on beauty. We spend a lot of money on everything, on our fashion, on our hair, on our jewelry. And so it's important for us to take a position in also, you know, representing ourselves in every single area of the supply chain. Is there anything else that I wanted to say today? Another thing that is really important to me is being a visible role model in science. Someone sent me a DM on Instagram 2 days ago, and someone said, can you name a black female scientist? And I'm a black female scientist, but I'm not the first name that comes to mind when people think about women in science. And there's a lot of other industries where we have, there are black women represented in finance, in law, in all these kind of top fields. But like I said before, it's important that we put these women on platforms, and we have platforms like Ballad that talk about black excellence and all the amazing things that black women are achieving. And I also think it's our responsibility to share when we, obviously you don't have to share anything that doesn't fit your style or whatever you're curating on your platforms. But if you see something that inspires you, definitely share and shout about it so that people can see the wonderful work that black women in the UK are doing. Thank you.